Black Lion Games podcast. There's probably not going to be an outro this week because I don't want that being there, or something that you can listen to the end.
I mean, to make you feel better, I wasn't necessarily recording all of that, so
yeah, that's the other thing.
So you have more excuse to delete it.
Yes. Internet historian. I think he released a new video today.
Yeah. Oh, did you? The H Bomber. Oh, I gotta look at that YouTuber again. Apparently, the internet historian has plagiarized a video.
Yeah.
Which is not great. Because I mean, he looked like he was doing some stuff like legit, but then this one video was like, wait, you completely plagiarized the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like. Now it's like, well, how much? If you plagiarize this, what did you plagiarize before? If you did, so, and then I was looking through the comments, and there was people going, "I think he plagiarized a few other things, but you have to kind of type out this, get the script, and then put it into Google and see if you can find anything."
Oh my fucking god! Is this regarding the man in the cave video that he did?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he fucking gave credit to the guy.
Well, that's after. He didn't do it before.
I'm pretty sure he did.
No, he did not. Because think about it. What was it taken off in the first place?
I don't remember.
Why?
I remember seeing...
Because here's the thing. He doesn't specifically explain why... And in fact, even all the evidence points towards that he plagiarized, but he didn't say anything about it.
Oh.
Like, why isn't he pointing at someone going, that's the bad man that took off my video, or anything?
because I'm pretty sure what happened is that he credited Mental Floss, who was the guy who he basically got all of his information from.
Which is a big group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he basically credited them. The original video editor of that video basically caused that video to get deleted. He re-uploaded it, removed a bunch of stuff, added in the Mental Floss connection. Because I've watched that video, he makes reference to it. And basically now everyone's like accusing him of not consenting when it's like, hey man, I don't care. I'm still going to watch that video.
Oh no, the H Bomber video, like... Oh, here it is. Just looking at that whole video and back to back, and like his.
Oh, okay. So no, I'm actually wrong. I'm sorry. I'm correcting it. Oh, look, he plagiarized something, hashed it out, and has full credits and description. That's it. Question mark. Okay, yeah. So okay. I was wrong. Yeah. You are correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll share this video and you can watch it, but I'm like, this is really damning, like really fucking damning.
I just don't think I care.
I think, well, here's the thing. He kind of did this before with another piece of content, but he was up front with like, hey, I did some tweaking with this, and I saw this story somewhere else, and I'm just showing it to you guys as well because I think it's really funny and interesting and whatever. Yeah. And then he was upfront about that. And I was like, that's fine. If anything, that you give yourself a freaking, okay to do it just as long as you reference the things you referenced. And then he didn't do it here. Like, why? Why didn't you do it here? Like, were you like that inept and lazy? Like, you shouldn't be. You know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just bad.
I mean, like, here's the thing is, like, whenever somebody starts saying stuff like, oh, well, video and all this sort of stuff, I was like, I don't care. It's the internet. Everyone fucking does this shit.
Oh, I know. If I remember back in high school and in elementary, whenever there was a time I have to write an essay, oh god, I cheated so fucking hard.
I mean the other thing too is like you also have people who like do that all the time and they never get caught, so you're like oh okay, and it's like I'm like one of those guys who's like, I don't care, but like it feels like as if like at the same time it's like, man, Like, AI has just destroyed that, because now you can just take an essay, you throw it into AI, and you say, "Hey, improve it," and now you get perfect grammar marks. And
Although it's still, yeah. Well, I mean, it's gonna take like another year or two for for it to look and sound better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, sure. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you're still gonna have to pay $20 a month for that service that you're gonna maybe sound better, or it just sounds really artificial and fucking weird and grammarly incomplete.
Yeah. The other thing I'm also like really annoyed by is like, okay, like here's the thing, unless like somebody actually like sits there and comes out and says, "Oh, this is a constant thing he does," I don't care.
Yeah.
And unless they can sit there and say, "Here's the receipts, here's the actual evidence," I don't care. I'm not going to care. Because I remember he re-uploaded the video and I didn't care. And I was just like, "Oh, okay, cool. I don't care."
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it just wasn't until H Bomber Guy video that I was like, oh, this is not good. Oh, this is just terrible. Like, yeah. Also, there's apparently another YouTuber, which is way worse for YouTube, and also terrible person in regards to like his content and shit, which is apparently a queer movie review guy. And yeah, like apparently all of his content is just straight up stolen and sloppily done, and just like they put filters over top of it so YouTube can't catch it. So it's a lot of it is like, it's so painfully like copied to the point of like, oh god, you're trying to put out a video a week, or maybe more videos in a week, and you're doing all this essay content, and it's like, well, doing essay content in the first place is hard, so how is he pulling this off? Well, he's just ripping off content somewhere else. Like, that's how he's doing it. And he's been doing this for such a long time, and it's absurd.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't help that he proudly pronounces this guy saying that he's gay, and he's doing this content or whatever, but he's also super what's that M word, misogynistic. Like,
is this just another thing where I don't care, and I'm just gonna be like,
you probably don't care, but I just find it interesting, because I'm like, wait, hold on, you're gay.
Jeff, you have to give a shit about somebody being gay and homophobic and misogynistic on the internet.
No, no. I just find it like super fucking like hilarious, and also depressing, of like, this guy is like, feels like he should go to therapy. Like, it's so far gone. It's like,
do you want to rephrase that? Because you could possibly now be charged with a hate crime, Josh. I'm just saying.
No,
you know what you're saying?
No, Joe.
I'm just saying.
Literally, if you look at the fucking video, you'd be like, holy shit, this guy has a problem. Like, literally a problem.
Is this the video that you posted?
Yeah. In fact, this whole video, when he goes into the critiquing of all this guy's videos and his content and where he copies it from, and like all of this shit that he does, and it gets to a point of like, oh my god, this man just cannot stop doing what he's doing because he needs money. And also, he just hates females because he just thinks they're vile. I mean, like, and also another point is like almost half of the. Actually, no, it's about half of this video. It's all about this one YouTuber. Like, he's that bad.
So we're talking about a gay guy who hates women.
Who steals content. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone but himself.
But internet historian is bad?
Well, I mean, he's bad as in he copied like, again, the whole video was about plagiarism on YouTube, and like, you know, just stuff that he's discovered in this deep rabbit hole he went through. and just figured out like, oh, this one's the worst out of all of them because he seems like he's basically, this man's a human crocodile and he doesn't give a fuck.
I don't know, Josh. You're making a lot of allegations here, especially against a guy who could probably destroy my life in 20 seconds. So,
I highly doubt it. And also, I don't think he gives a fuck because who are we? No
that's
one.
a good point. That's a good point. I just remember the last time that we tried to go after somebody in that community and what happened.
Oh, God damn it.
We're going to file copyright claims against you for music you literally own and made.
Yeah.
And then we're going to sit there, and then I started sending messages to YouTube, getting uppity, and YouTube was like, oh, maybe we're wrong.
Yep.
It's like, here's the source file. Well, fucks. No. So maybe we shouldn't criticize them, okay? We'll criticize somebody else, like Jim Sterling.
Or whatever the hell his name is now.
Joelle Sterling.
Yeah.
Who is now pregnant.
Huh, really?
Yeah.
Impressive.
I don't know how it works.
Me either.
I thought that the man... I thought that the thing about being trans is you can't get pregnant.
Well, he pulled it off.
That's an amazing feat.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know.
Did he get also transplanted stuff? Or
I mean, if he did, that would be one of the first.
Yeah.
I mean, I congratulate Jim Sterling on his hip his what would the bone be called? Tailbone, crotch bone, pelvis bone replacement surgery, and his uterus implant.
I see.
Yes, I congratulate him on that. Instead, let's talk about the new Halo TV show, because they have released a new and glorious, you will say, trailer, as did the Fallout TV show. And the word meh comes to mind. For both of them. The new Halo TV show, though, is basically, how do I put it? It's the Fall of Reach. It's covering the Fall of Reach.
Okay.
And so it's going to be covering the Fall of Reach, and it'll be worse than the actual Halo Reach game. So it's going to be interesting, basically, to explain. And then there's the new Fallout TV show, which is how do I say this? That one looks faithful as fuck, except for the ghouls, who look like Red Skull.
Huh.
Yeah. So far they actually look good. The Halo TV show actually looks fine, and I'm actually really impressed with it. So,
well, that's good.
Here's hoping that I don't have to actually watch all of season 1, because I stopped halfway through that show. That godforsaken fucking show.
Godforsaken show.
It was literally the worst thing on the planet. I watched. Yeah. I think I watched 5 episodes to completion, and I was like, "Yeah, this show's okay." And then I watched, and then I saw what happened in episode 6. Do you want to know what happens in episode 6, Josh?
Yeah,
Master Cheeks.
Master Cheeks.
Master Cheeks starts to exist.
Hooray!
Literal Master Cheeks. Master Chief is not the main character of the show. It's this guy called John 117.
Okay.
So he does not exist, but Master Cheeks. He fully embodies the word Master Cheeks, where he, as the main character of the show, starts, how do I put it, doing really dumb shit.
Okay.
And it shows. They didn't And it really proves the theory that I've heard from some people where it's like, oh, well, they should not have that character be Master Chief. And it's like, yeah, they should really have not made a Spartan 2 Master Chief. They should have just, if they wanted to do this Quan plot line, they should have just made Quan a Spartan 3. They should have made every other character, like, they should have made this character who is Master Chief's, we'll say that lovingly, not Master Chief, and made him a different Spartan. That would have been awesome. And like, there's things that I like about that show. Like, I look at it and I'm like, oh, this is lovingly like recreated. Like, the Halo armor is like the actual, it's the Mark 6 armor. So I'm like, oh, it's the Mark 6, the cool Halo armor, the one that everyone likes. And then the next one is, and then they have like the battle rifle. It's an actual battle rifle.
Okay.
It doesn't look like an M16. It's the battle rifle. The assault rifle looks like the assault rifle. The plasma rifle, the elites all look the same. And it's like, oh, this looks really cool. And I say this because I look at the Fallout trailer and I see the exact same thing. And I'm like, this is going to be terrible. This is actually going to be literally dog shit. Because Todd Howard's associated with it.
Oh, I see.
My faith in humanity. We're also talking about the company Amazon. So, Josh, I don't know if you have watched any TV shows ever in your life.
I've watched TV, and then I stopped watching TV, and then I was like, I don't need to come back.
I don't need to watch television for 4 hours. I can just hang out with the boys and play with my Magic the Gathering cards.
Exactly. I mean, back in the day, I know I watched unhealthy amounts of TV. To the point that I'm pretty sure I probably clocked in a lot of... Probably like each week was like I had a job watching TV practically.
See, here's the thing. I'm just going to say this right now, and I really think this is probably you to a T. I could see you watching shitloads of anime and actually enjoying it.
Oh, probably.
Like, I could see you watching anime.
Like, that's the thing. It's like I did watch a bunch of stuff back in the day of like... I guess whatever anime I can ever catch, but it's usually like Dragon Ball or Gundam.
Yeah, like I could just see you being like, I watched, what's the new one that everyone's talking about? It's the one with a girl called Flame who tells her. Yeah, so the new one is Spy X Spy, and then there's another one where a girl basically tells a demon chick. You tell she's a demon because she has horns.
Oh, not because she has huge knockers.
No. Oh. No, she's very flat as a character.
Oh.
So Ben will like her. To kill herself. Okay. So you might like that show.
Actually, the one show I thought I was... because a friend of mine was showcasing episodes to me whenever I hang out. It was Dead Alive. And basically the concept of the show is this girl, for whatever reason, has the power of absurdly bad luck. And whoever she touches will have this bad luck placed upon them. And they will die practically instantly from either a meteor hitting a person, a bus coming out of nowhere and killing them, or explosion happening. Something that will kill the person.
I also think I got another show for you to like watch.
And then there's another character of the show who is completely not invincible, but he can't die because his regeneration ability is that good. So, like, he could be chopped in half.
So we're talking about Wolverine versus, like, I don't know, what's the superhero character who fucking...
think, like, what was it, Domino, but reverse.
Yeah, okay.
Like, just, like, basically, this girl like with the bad luck, because this character can't die. The girl with the bad luck just ends up hanging out with this character who can't die, because the character can't die is absolutely infatuated with her, because he's like, man, I want to hang around with you all the time, because like what else could happen? What like
I want to get hit by a toilet from the ISS.
Yeah, actually, literally, I think it's like episode 2 or 3. He gets hit with a meteor, and he's like, "I've never been hit with a meteor before. This is awesome."
Oh man, I got hit with a meteor.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, his regeneration, like he just comes back to comes back to life somehow. And it's funny because it's an anime, they go through all the. Like, okay, so this guy has insane regeneration, so how can you stop him from regenerating in any way? And it turns out, like, if you can somehow cut his limb off and cauterize it at the same time, he has a heck of a time trying to get around that cauterizing. So it's like, oh, you can kind of stop it if you're good at it, but at the same time,
stopped it, but not really.
Yeah, like it gave him a hard time trying to. Basically, to try to grow his limb back. Basically, it didn't stop at 100%, but it gave him some time. You got some time to run away or whatever. And also, what was it? Oh, and like the dude who has this ability of regeneration lost his memory, and then it turns out the metal piece in his forehead was helping losing his memory. But then once he got his memory back, he's a bad guy. And
this just sounds like a really bad TV show. Like
that's all anime. That's all anime.
No,
it's just you explain it. It's just like, this sounds like a bad show.
No, because here's the thing, Josh. Okay, I can explain most anime in 2 sentences.
Yeah,
okay? Sword Art Online, terrible show. Nobody should. It's okay. Actually, I'll say it. It's okay. Okay, but the main character of it is basically. The plot of it is get out of the game, save the girl. That's the plot. Simple. Yeah. Okay? Easy to understand. Bite size.
Yeah.
Minute. Okay? Gundam. You have 2 opposing forces. Basically, you have space Nazi Germany, who is not space Nazi Germany, because it's complicated in space Nazism. And then you have the Federation, who's like space America, but not the good America, like the America who beat Nazi Germany. No, we're talking about modern day America, who's fucking retarded and stupid and hates you. Okay, and it's the war. It's the story is about the war between the 2 people. And does love actually bloom on the battlefield? Short answer, yes, it does. Okay. And then we have like the shit that has been coming out lately where it's like you watch Witch from Mercury and it's like, what's the plot? Well, the plot is you're watching 2 lesbians love and bloom and how they become better human beings. And it's like, by the end of the show, you're like, yeah, no, none of these people are actually decent people. I would murder them all if I could. Yep. Whereas this show is like, it just sounds like, and then, and it's like, okay. So the plot is very simple, I'm guessing. So, sorry, bud.
Yeah.
But I got another show about you for you.
Oh.
That's very, it's a new anime. It's about a girl who's a villainess, who's, okay, let me explain. It's about a girl who's an otaku, who becomes a magical girl, but instead of becoming a good magical girl, she becomes an evil magical girl.
Oh.
This is the perfect show for you, Josh.
Huh.
He's like, I hate it.
I don't know. If anything, I need a show that's like just really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And friggin' a show. What was it? The one show I go to the dentist and they're like, "What do you want to put on?" I put on Disenchant.
What's Disenchant?
Like every time.
What's Disenchant?
It's the Simpsons, not Simpsons show.
Oh,
if anything,
that one.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch that, but I haven't.
I like it. It's, although I wouldn't necessarily say it's a comedy. It does have comedy bits in it, but it's definitely more fantasy exploration drama somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Although like it does have the comedy bits of like, oh, this is kind of stupid, and this is in the fantasy way, and also the main character that you follow is all about like the kingdom and how it's going, and I think there was finite amount of seasons, like it ended, I think, unless there's more seasons. I don't know. But it does like just follow the adventures of Bean. And Bean is just this girl who's just basically like, I don't want to be princess or don't want to be a princess or queen. Just want to get the fuck out of here. But then she ends up getting roped in to help the kingdom. And then turns out like, oh shit, I really got to start helping out the kingdom at this point, because everything will be absolutely fucked if I don't.
I have to start being a decent person. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at first she's like, man, I don't want to necessarily be king or queen, or don't want to be the queen or anything, or marry this asshole, or do all this stuff you're supposed to be doing. And then shit kind of just snowballs from there. Yeah, it's really good. I like the show. I kind of feels like you have to start from episode 1 though, because if you start later on, there's gonna be a character or two that might pop up and be like, oh, this person's important, like super important, but they rarely show up, and yeah, they're actually like super important, and you keep thinking that they're dead, but they're probably not.
They're not dead, although they are dead. Although we did throw them down a flight of stairs. But trust us, they're not dead.
Literally an explosion happened. Like the hugest explosion happened.
Trust us, they're dead.
And
but
somehow person lived.
But are they dead? Are they actually dead? Or are they just a figment of our imagination created in order to maintain power?
Yep.
Didn't think of that, did you?
No.
Kept you waiting, huh? Okay.
I like Disenchant.
I want to watch that show. I don't know. I've been busy at work. Work has also been hell. I got a job, everyone.
Hooray!
I hate it. It sucks.
Oh.
Everything is terrible. I want to cry. Yeah. The fun, normal things.
Excuse me.
Did you play any other games this week? Other than the one game that you told me you don't want to talk about, and you said, I don't want to talk about this, Jeff, because I know what you're going to do.
What thing to not talk about? Pinball?
Well, yeah. You said it's just you got really mad when I brought it up in our pre-talk where I said you played Halo Infinite without me.
Oh, because I thought you were going to be pissy and be like, oh, you never really play with me. And I'm like,
play Halo games with me,
and I thought you're going to be like all pissy. And I'm like, dude, you never say anything.
No, I don't. I literally, I'll play Halo Infinite by myself. I'll have a friend who sends me a message. He goes, hey, want to play? I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
And then my other friends, they do the same thing. They're like, hey, Jeff, I don't know if you're on or not, but your computer's on. Want to pop in and play some video games?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, cool. Or like I'll be sitting in a Discord call and they'll be like, hey, Jeff, we're playing Dark Tide. Do you want to play with us? And you go, oh, okay. I'll hop on. Like literally, okay. It's like that easy where I'm like, oh, okay, I'll hop on.
Okay.
I think I saw you playing it. And I was like, man, Josh is actually playing Halo Infinite. And then I felt like really bad. I was like, man, he made the same mistakes I did. He's gonna play that game.
The only reason why, because in the group I was in, they're all playing it, and they're like, hey, you want to join in? I'm like, I'll see if I have it actually
Josh,
installed.
You're supposed to say no. You say no.
Oopsie poopsie, I said yes.
It's very easy. You just say, I'm sorry, I don't want to play a bad video game that my friend Jeff always plays all the time by himself and he hates. And he just keeps playing it because he's a fucking glutton for punishment.
Although it turns out that I'm actually somewhat decent at Halo. It's just as long as I don't if I have the buttons where I think the buttons should go, I'm pretty decent at Halo, apparently.
Okay, did you set your control scheme up improperly?
I set it so that when I melee, it's one of the stupid side buttons on my mouse. I also set it up so that grenade throw is middle mouse button.
Okay, you stop right there. You already did it wrong. Okay. Get out of here, trash. Middle mouse button. Middle mouse button's your zoom.
No, zoom is right click, so you can when you scope.
No, that's bad. How fucking dare you?
It's fun. It's weird though, because when I do that, it still works. It's just like apparently the zoom is when I scroll up.
No,
which makes scroll.
No. Oh my fucking god.
And then I moved the movement controls to QWER because I felt in a straight line it was easier.
At this point, I know you're trolling.
Yeah, I'm trolling with that last one.
But like the first, here's the thing. Okay, John, you want to know how you properly set up your Halo control scheme?
How?
Okay. So when you play Halo on the Xbox 360, the greatest console of all time, one of the greatest consoles of all time, you have your controllers. Okay, you have left trigger, which is your grenade, right trigger, which is your shoot, and you have one of your sticks. I believe it is right stick down is going to be your zoom in. Okay.
Okay.
B is melee. Y is melee. Okay, so it makes sense that you would have your second mouse button be your melee, or a mouse button be melee, and then you would have left mouse click be grenade.
Yeah.
And then you do middle mouse button as your zoom.
Okay.
That is how you properly set up your Halo control scheme.
Although I might have, again, I was kind of tweaking it off and on between rounds, so I might have been different from what I remember.
Yeah, I think I literally saw you playing it, and I was like, I kind of want to join in and just cause havoc and like personally like flub the game. But then I was like, I also could just go and paint, so I went and painted instead.
Do some relaxing painting instead.
Yeah.
It did some Bob Ross on those miniatures.
No.
We're gonna add some Crimson Blood to this. Just a little bit of Crimson Blood.
Why
we need to add. We don't need to beat the devil out of this. We need to add the devil to this.
No. No. No.
Think Bob Ross, but like he's just like red skin and horns. Has horns.
Bob Ross, but I have horns.
Yeah, but he has horns.
It's just it's just Deadpool. He's just like whacking a thing to clean his brush.
Oh yeah, gotta beat the devil out of this. Gotta really beat
the devil out of it. Just beat the shit out of it.
Just beat the shit out of it. It's like, wow, I'm high.
Oh, I'm touching myself tonight.
Oh fuck. Yep. And what else did I? Basically, I was just playing a little bit of Halo, and I felt actually better about myself because I actually killed things.
Yeah, that game is easy to kill things.
Yeah. I'm like, man, either there's actually bad players still playing it, or there's robots, and either way, I'm happy.
Sometimes there are robots. Most of the time, there's not.
Yeah. Because, I think nowadays, if you're going to make a modern shooter, you have to add bots.
No.
Because, there's people who suck beyond reason, and they want to have a fun time, then you gotta have to add bots somehow.
I mean, that plays into, the other thing of, what is it right now? There's another thing that I really hate. Oh, are you familiar with, basically, what would I call it? What is it? Skill-based matchmaking? You're familiar with that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So skill-based matchmaking basically has fucking destroyed the game industry.
Or at least at first-person shooters in some degree. Yeah.
So, I love this because this has been becoming a really big topic, and this is one of the biggest things I hate. So when you play Call of Duty and you're get a perfect 50-50 win ratio.
Yeah.
Okay, Halo was never like that.
Yeah.
Okay, League of Legends was like that. Dota was like that. Call of Duty started doing that right around the time that those games started becoming very popular.
Okay.
Okay. And so, like, you would play those games and you'd be like, oh man, I have a 50-50 win rate. And you'd actually feel you'd actually be like, okay, like, that's fine. Okay. I really enjoyed playing games like Halo Infinite because it was like, oh, like, I have a 50-50 win rate. Cool, whatever. And then, like, you play a match and you just get raffle stomped by a guy who's, like, playing the game for, like, thousands of hours. And you're just like, man, it sucks. I hate life. Like, skill-based matchmaking is, like, the worst thing on the planet Earth. And so now the game industry is actually taking notice and going, maybe we should fix this shit. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Fucking make it work. So hopefully we go back to, like, the way it used to be, where it's like, instead of, like, having, like, a perfect 50-50 rate, there's, like, some variance where it's like, maybe you have a 49% win average rate.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have a 51% win rate. Anything to kind of just break up the monotony, so that way then it's like, instead of, like, having, like, games where you're like, oh, I raffle stomp. Oh boy, my next game I'm gonna get fucking killed.
Raffle stomp.
And, like, this, all of this stuff started happening when the Halo 3 maps, like, from the new Halo 3 Refueled playlist came in, where it was like, oh, like, this is actual terrible. Because you had people who were like I'm Onyx joining, and you would be like, I'm playing casual, I'm playing pub games, I don't like playing, like, ranked, because it's, like, just full of sweaty people who are like, oh, this guy missed 4 BR shots, he's the worst, let me tell you, he's the worst. And you're like, oh, fuck off, like, cry me fucking river.
I have to say, I'm not sure if I like or dislike the term sweaty for, although it does fit for, you know, you're trying to be serious about a game and then you just go, that guy's sweaty. Yeah. Like, there's a new term that came out that I'm like, okay, I guess it fits.
Those are the people that have, like, ruined so many games for me, because, like, I'll be, like, playing, like, something like Mech Warrior by myself.
Yep.
And I'll be like, yeah, I'm just having fun, man. I just don't care. And then you accidentally shoot somebody and they're like, I'm going to shove a baboon up your ass. And you're like, why?
Not my asshole, please, not my asshole.
Why? Well, you see, you've ruined my mech perfectly, and now we're just gonna lose. And it's like, oh my god, you're just one of those guys who's just a fucking piece of shit.
You have ruined my mech. Now we will lose.
Yeah, it's called, hey man, maybe we should just have fun.
Yeah,
maybe.
Or, although it's kind of remind me of the time an LOL that I was support. And I was trying to support the bottom lane, and I was not with Tony or Noah. I was with a rando, and I was doing my best trying to support. And then within, I don't know, the 10-minute mark, basically the person I'm supporting died. And I was like, oh shit, fuck, oh shit, I didn't mean that to happen. It was more of I think it was more of an issue that just got the jump on us.
Yeah.
And basically
the entire game the guy was, like, riding your asshole then?
No, the guy just typed in chat, all right, I'm walking from the keyboard, bye. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Because it's like, sure, you might have died 10 minutes in, but that's not the game. That's not the whole thing. Like, that's, like, if anything, the game flip-flops so fucking hard towards the end to the point of, like, you don't know who's gonna win.
People like that who play League of Legends, like, they're the reasons why, like, I hate.
Oh, there's a reason why.
They're the reasons why, like I don't play that game anymore. Because, like, the last time I played that game, I just, like, fucking, like, broke, and I was like, I'm going to fucking ban everyone on my server, and I don't care. Yeah, like, in fact, that
was the like beginning of the last couple of times I played that game. And also those type of people are also the reason why when Arcadia, the TV show, came out, when that TV show came out, there was unanimously people on Twitter and other social media said the show is great, you should watch it, do not play LOL. Like giant cap letters. Do not play LOL.
Oh yeah.
Like just do not play it. Like it just unanimously across the board. Do not play LOL.
Look, I understand that you want to play League of Legends. If that's the case, please go fuck yourself.
Like, oh fuck, it was just like it was like a tear to my eye of like, oh, everyone's supporting each other and just completely fucking LOL entirely.
I mean, that game is so fucked.
I mean, there like it has a pleasing like. That's the problem, is that the game has such high highs to the point of like you're feeling great and it's like the most crack cocaine possible. And then once you hit the low lows, you're like, I need to find the nearest gun so I can go start shooting people. Like, it's just insane.
I mean, the thing is like with that game specifically is like you take any other game like Call of Duty and it's like it's not as sweaty. You take Halo Infinite, and it's like, oh, we're losing. Oh no! You take BattleBit, and it's like, oh, we're losing. Okay, I don't care. Like any of those games, and you're just like, oh no, we're losing.
Yeah.
Pump. Oh well.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's even what was it? There's so many characters in LOL now that I think even professionals don't know who they're good, how their matchups are going to look like.
That game is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to diss it because it's like it's a better game than anything I could make on my own.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, hey man, you don't need to do this shit. You don't need to do this shit. And like the problem is specifically the League of Legends community. Like it's only the League of Legends community who's that toxic. Because you look at the Dota community and they're not that bad.
Even though the game's probably a lot harder.
Yeah, Dota's a lot worse when it comes to like difficulty.
Because I know eating trees is a thing. I know your items are not always in the same spot. You have to use a carrier.
Yeah,
and your carrier can get shot out of the air.
Yeah, so like you can get there's a secret shop that you can go to and actually buy shit.
Yep.
And like Dota's like a really cool thing. League of Legends is Dota for like children.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it wears that on the sleeve, and it's a very successful game. And like the League of Legends universe is really interesting. And then you're just like, I mean, hey man, this game is just not all that because the community is just toxic pieces of shit. And it's like it's really bad because the game is like actually sometimes really fun. It's just those moments. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say is like I would also add is another game that's really toxic and stuff bad is fuck, what was it? It's not Counter-Strike, I would say, is really toxic and bad. Because there are stories of like Russians being like going to some guy's house and punching the shit out of him. Because he didn't because he killed him in Counter-Strike. Yeah.
I mean, another game, not a MOBA or, although it's a MMO. It was what was the fuck that insane
Eve?
Yeah, Eve Online.
Yeah. I like that game.
Although there's so much shit going on.
That's the reason why I love it. I don't play it. I am like, oh, Eve. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. They basically, there was a guy I was talking to like in university that I was like, I heard about Eve Online and have these huge events and whatever. And the guy that's talking about it is like, yeah, it's so cool and yada yada. And this at one point they have a rule of like, as long as it's in game, it's like kind of a legal thing that you can do. So if it's like people trying to infiltrate a company or people try to do, get in, sabotage a bunch of shit and get out, you know, like do sabotage and like spying work and stuff like that. It's so far you can do that in game, and it turns out one of the friends that he invited onto his own company was a spy, and he supposedly, from when he told me, punched him so hard he lost his 2 front teeth. And I'm like, if this is a guy he met in real life and he brought him onto the team and he was fucking like apparently a spy or did sabotage or something, and he punched his teeth out, I'm like, fuck, like like I'll do shit over a video game. I'm like, that's pretty fucking brutal.
I mean, that's beyond brutal. That's like, oh, you actually fucking committed assault.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I'm not sure if there was like charges pressed or it was just a story that he was telling or something.
Not. But if it's your friend and you punch him in the face and you break his teeth, usually 9 times out of 10 you're going to take him to the hospital.
Although like at the same time, I'm like, if that did happen in real life and that was
it's
so
fucked,
I was like,
but like I'm just saying,
because like, man, court case so hard, like though, like I would think they would just flip on the dime and just be like, yeah, this court case, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
we should. Oh, by the way, stupid question. Have you looked at the new game, New Hotness, which I think is, I'm looking at it right now. Not that. Okay, never mind. I don't know. Fuck. I know I was looking at it today and debating about purchasing it and then didn't. Have you looked at the new hotness that is Heartbound?
Heartbound?
Yeah.
Let me take a look. Because it sounds interesting. Sounds like something I might know of.
Yeah, okay. Because I downloaded the demo. I haven't played it yet. I was going to play it later today, but then I played Halo Infinite. Oh, that's what I played this week. Fuck.
Oh.
I forgot about it. I started playing Octopath.
Oh.
Yes. That game's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so Octopath basically is a JRPG. That's what I was doing while you guys were playing Halo Infinite, because I was like, I'll just play Octopath and play for jobs. So that was what I was doing. Shit. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so Octopath Traveler came out about a couple years ago. It's a JRPG. I'm playing it because it's one of the best JRPGs according to like most of my friends who were fucking weebs. And they're like, you should play JRPGs, Jeff. You'll probably have fun. So I was like, okay, cool. So I've started playing it. And basically, what it is you play one of 8 heroes. You have a damsel in distress. You have a stripper. You have a hooker. You have a hunter who is half naked. You have a thief. You have a adventurer. You have all these dudes, and you're basically going through this adventure. Now, I've only put like 51 minutes into it because I'm fucking stupid and dumb. I haven't even finished the prologue of the first character. Who I picked was the merchant. But basically, it's a game that has like over 100 hours. The other game I've been playing is The Outer Wilds.
Oh, yeah.
And that game is weird.
Outer, isn't that the one? Oh yeah, it's the,
you're probably, because it's the,
you're on this, it's a game where the more you don't know, the better the experience is.
Yeah, so like it's a game that I've started playing and I know nothing. Yeah, I just started playing it and I know a little bit about what happens, but I've already played a little bit of it and I'm like, well, the game's pretty right. It's fine.
Yep.
The one downside I'll say is as you play it, the more and more you play it, the more it becomes interesting, and the more it's like, you should probably play this game. I'm just saying, Josh, you should play it. You'll have fun.
You know, when there's Christmas sale, I'll buy it.
You should stream it.
Probably.
You should stream it on your shitty rig that you need to upgrade.
My shitty rig that I need to upgrade that it can't play pinball machine games apparently.
Well, you should get. Well, Josh, I have the solution for you. Have you heard of Threadripper?
Isn't that a cool Marvel hero?
No, Josh. Okay. We're doing a little bit of something called a segue here, but back to Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds, I love, an Octopath I love, and I'm going to play more of them, and they're going to be the games that I play when I'm not playing Halo Infinite, because instead of being a drooling monkey who's a fucking idiot, I'm going to play actual fun games. Like, I love Halo Infinite, but at the same time, I'm also like, I have an addiction. And I should probably stop playing and play other games. So I'm going to do that for a bit. And then next week, we can talk about more Octopath and more Outer Wilds.
And more Halo Infinite.
No. Go fuck yourself. Even though I think that there's probably a new event on the horizon.
Oh, probably.
Oh, yeah. Most likely. So, anyways, speaking of which, Josh.
Yeah.
There was a new processor. You will love it. Its name is the AMD Threadripper.
Cool.
Okay. It came out this week. It's about $2,000. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, that's expensive. I should probably not buy it. I should probably go with something more reasonable, like
$300, maybe even $100.
No, I should probably go something more reasonable, that has like 16 cores or 12 cores.
Okay.
I can go with something more reasonable and or even 8 cores. I'll just go with a Ryzen 1700 or 7800X 3D, and it will just be reasonable, and I'll just be happy with that. It's $489, and it's the best gaming CPU on the market. Okay? No, Josh. Okay? No. Bad. Okay? I know what you're thinking, and what you're thinking is correct. Okay? You're thinking, I just want the best CPU I can get for my dollar. And for that, good sir, allow me to introduce you to the Threadripper CPU, because it's 24 cores and it's a fucking beast. Now, your gaming performance, it will be shit for all of eternity. This thing is not made for gaming.
All right, so what you want is to buy this that's not meant for gaming. And
it's the exact opposite of what you want. But Josh, you're going to love it. You're going to love this computer, because when everyone else is like sitting there being like, man, I can only do one thing on my computer. If only I could do 50 things on my computer at the same time. You'll be sitting there smiling and being like, I can do 5,000 machines. I'm running 80 VMs at the same time. Each VM has 1 core. I am running an email server on my own personal computer. And you're a fuckface. Yes. Okay. Now, if you don't understand, listener, let me explain to you. Threadripper came out about either a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I didn't talk about it because I was, in tears and drinking alcohol and crying my eyes out. But Threadripper came out. It's now it's handily now the return of HEDT. And my God, I love it. I want it so bad. I hope that Intel makes a new one. New HEDT. That's just like, we threw shit tons of performance cores and then a bunch of E cores on a CPU, and we called it a day. And that would make my day. And the reason why is because basically they're the best computers on the planet Earth. Yeah.
Just the best.
Yeah, the way they tend to run is they tend to run like, the performance you get out of them is just so mind-boggling crazy that you can basically do all of this work and it just solves all the problems. And like, yeah, for like people like me who's like, I kind of want gaming performance, there's a CPU for that. For people like you who is like, I just want good gaming for, there's a CPU for that. This is like steps in like the direction where it's like, hey, do you want like VM performance? And for somebody like me who's like, I want good gaming performance, but I also don't really care. It's like, oh, I can just run one computer and have 80,000 VMs and do stupid shit on my own personal computer. That sounds awesome. So that's just my personal opinion. Yeah. The performance specs wise, it actually looks like it's as if it's one of the best on the market. It's able to beat most VM workstations, and it tends to be able to handle like everything, if that makes sense.
Except games.
Except video games. And the reason why I can't handle that many games is because the core count's way too high.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, like when you get past, this is something where when you get past a certain point, it just everything falls off a cliff.
Huh.
And it's very similar to that. So
I just feel with technology advancing and stuff, is their answer to everything is just add more cores.
Yeah, that's actually been the thing.
Yeah, it's just add more cores. Just add more cores, and it's like, can you streamline the cores a bit or something?
Well, they also do that.
You can milk it for a bit, can't you?
No. So what they've been doing every year is like they'll add in more cores, but that's not actually how they streamline it. How they actually streamline it is they decrease the size of the transistor and then they add more transistors.
Oh, I see.
So basically, like when you do CPU design and stuff like that, you have to add in more space, and that increases your efficiency. So there's the reason why, like when you look at Skylake had a very long life, and it just got better and better and better and better and better and better, and that's now the basis of the Intel P cores.
Huh?
Because they just refined it constantly because they had to. They didn't have a way to improve it. So they would just look at the design and go, okay, X this, make it work. Whereas like the way that like AMD did things was every couple of years, they would go, here's a new part that we can pull. Here's something new that we can do. Here's something new that we can do. Here's something new that we can do. And they would just constantly be refining the process, and it would just get better and better and better and better because they could. And it didn't matter. And plus, because they were on the lower end process, they would just be like, okay, so this generation we're going to 12 nanometer. And Intel would be like, we're technically on 14 nanometer, but that's actually comparable to your 12 nanometer. And then the next generation, they were like, we're on 7 nanometer. And Intel was like, wait, what? And then the next generation, and AMD was like, we're on 5 nanometer. And then Intel was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
We're kind of following behind there, bud. And everyone was like, yeah,
we're on 1 atom.
Yeah, like we're pretty close.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah,
we accidentally split an atom as we're trying to make this transistor even smaller. That's why that nuke went off.
That actually would not happen. That's not how it works.
No.
The reason why the atom bomb worked the way it did was because you had a bunch of unstable atoms.
A bunch of them, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you give it a good slap.
No. There's two. There was 2 ways. There was the projectile one, which is you complete the uranium core, which causes the electronic, which causes the atom splitting process, where atoms hit in sequence repeatedly, and the energy was incontainable. The other one, the one that the gadget, the H-bomb, the fucking like the one that was basically like all the big nukes based. That's all compression, where you squeeze the atoms together, which causes the atom to break apart.
Ah.
Yeah. So.
I learned.
Yeah, you should have saw an Oppenheimer, bud, when that came out. What, you didn't want to see a woman riding you didn't want to see a communist riding a fucking Oppenheimer while he like is talking about his sexual relationship with a woman and how he's a terrible womanizer?
No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Have you played any other games this week, Josh?
Well, I played so much pinball that I figured out what sort of pinball design of tables that I like.
Why would you do this?
So I got Pinball FX and I got their tables and I was like, oh, these are fun, but I still have Pinball Arcade and that still has all the tables that you probably would ever want for the price tag. But the thing is, Pinball Arcade had to get their they couldn't get their Williams license renewed, so they end up just having to rip out all the Williams tables that they had on through. Basically, they had to delist their shit. Because they delist their shit, that game's popularity just went through the floor. And to the point that the last update this game ever had was like 2019.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's about right. But then I was playing Pinball FX and I was like, oh, this feels like it's more polished. Basically, I'm not feeling like these games here are going to crash on me or anything. Although it will probably crash on me because I have a shitty GPU. That's about it.
That's not a shitty GPU either. Like, that's the funny thing about that. It's a shitty GPU because it's old.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the GPU I have is actually like still comparable. The only thing that sucks is that the VRAM is not enough.
Right. Because did you buy the 4 gig model?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yep. So apparently, if I have to put the game on low graphics mode just so it doesn't necessarily hit that VRAM limit.
So do I. On most of the games now.
Yep, most games.
It's really funny when I'm like, oh man, I love playing this game. And I look at the settings.
Oh.
I need to upgrade, but I'm poor.
Yep.
I blame myself.
So I've been progressing through Pinball FX and been playing it, and it's a lot of fun. And then Noah put in the direction of like, hey, there's this other pinball game coming out from Pinball FX company called Pinball M. And I was like, and he described it as like, oh, these are more mature tables that they couldn't put in Pinball FX because they had, too much blood in them or too much or they're based off of like slasher flicks and they want to go, when they do a job on a table, usually it's pretty good for the IP that they're doing it for.
Mm-hmm.
And the representation on these tables that I was looking at, and I'm like, yeah, these are pretty good. They're a slasher flick like you expect. Like as you get your multipliers and you're going through these different tables and their gimmicks, like, oh yeah, like here's the slasher, he comes out and you see the blood splash the screen or something, or he throws an axe at you and he's like, oh no, the axe is getting thrown at me. And the reason why, like Pinball M is because these tables they couldn't just shove them in Pinball FX. They had to make their own separate game because it's rated differently.
So this is the follow-up game to your favorite game of all time because it's just paintball.
Yes. Although it's funny because the tables that they have in Pinball M is movie licenses. So one of them is Chucky, which actually it's a decent table. I think it's modeled after a real table. Another one is The Thing, which never got a pinball table. That one is Pinball FX original. Another one is Dead by Daylight, which is the video game. Which is interesting because before you start the game, you can choose whether or not you're the survivors or the killer. Mm-hmm. And then you start playing the table as that option. The next one was Pinball FX original title called what was it, Call of Cthulhu or Cthulhu. It's Cthulhu themed. It's
a Lovecraftian.
Yes.
Cool.
And that one, I like that table because it has so much tentacles and eyes watching you
because it has tentacles and shit, and I'm like,
I like the table because again, it has a bunch of oozing creepy shit all over the place, so that maybe go yeah, this totally Cthulhu would do this. And there's also a spot on the table where it's literally a blender full of blood, and if your ball gets into this area where it's technically a multi-ball area, that's where it locks the balls, but because it's a blender, it will just blends up your ball and it shoots gore coming out of it, and I'm like, that's funny.
That's just not fucking what the fuck, dude. What the fuck? You're just look.
That's why it's called Pinball M. That's why it's called Pinball M.
It's called Pinball M, guys.
It's more for mature audience only.
Bullshit.
And the next table that they have is Duke Nukem Big Shot Pinball, which is, I think it's another Pinball FX original that they got the license for Duke, so they're making their own table based on Duke.
Man, I gotta be honest, man. That is an IP I literally could not give a shit about.
Oh, I know. If anything, although I think Duke Nukem should be a license that's licensed out to other people and let them run the ball and see what they want to do with it, because I think that could be pretty hilarious if you see Duke Nukem in like Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah.
Like, they would, if the company was cool, they would totally let that put them in there.
I'm pretty sure Gearbox owns it, and they are never going to do anything with that license because they fucking like.
Yeah, they're stupid.
No, like, what do you do?
Because I mean, there's a bunch of. I think you just let the people try. Let them. If people want to try something with it, and you have just let have it in a way of like, all right. If you want to do something with it, then show us your idea or prototype, and then you license it out. I think licensing it out would be a better idea. Because it's like, sir, is like, if you don't have the idea for it, let someone else try it, because they probably have a good idea what to do with it.
I'm just saying that I could make a better decision than you, my good sir.
And then I go, okay, then fucking go ahead.
I do say,
pay me money,
believe, my good sir, that
pay me money up front now.
I should be allowed to make my own fucking video game with your IP, good sir. I will give you exactly 50% of all revenue I make from this game henceforth. And they're just like,
that would be a crazy deal.
They're like, well, we might as well just do it. I mean, what's the worst that happens? We get told to go fuck ourselves? I mean, we already been told to get bent by this fucking guy who fucking hates us. Yeah, we might as well just fucking do it. Fuck it. Fuck it. And then they do it, and then it comes out, and everyone's like, oh my god, the game's actually great.
Wow.
Duke Nukem actually is the best game ever.
Yep. And so anyway, there is a Duke Nukem pinball machine.
Of course there is.
Which, yeah. And so the funny thing is with these tables, I'm starting to realize that Pinball FX kind of has a cookie cutter solution to making these tables. And once I realized that, it made these tables worse. Because here's the thing, Dead by Daylight, you look at the design for it, and I'm playing it, and I'm like, okay, I'm, shooting the ball. Basically all it has is a lot of ramps and getaways, but there's no like other stuff on the playing field that you can interact with or do something with. So the more I play it, the more I'm like, man, this fucking sucks. And I at first couldn't quite figure out why, because I'm like, it's a pinball table. It looks like a pinball table. It plays fine, but I'm like, but it sucks. And I couldn't figure out why or articulate why. But I was like, man, I don't like this table at all. And then I went back and forth to different tables and tried to figure out why. And I'm like, oh, there's a little to nothing going on. Like, especially if I were to go back to a Williams pinball table where there's always stuff going on. I was like, oh, no wonder these tables, like, I felt like there's just nothing to it, because there is nothing to it. There's always like the designs are just felt like, stereotypical lane there's 3 lanes to your left, 3 lanes to your right, and maybe something special in the middle, and that's it.
What are you saying, Josh?
I'm saying, Pinball FX Company, you need to kind of up your game on these tables, because
What are you actually saying?
I'm saying if you're gonna go into Pinball FX, because it's a more modern pinball game and it plays pretty well, and you just want to purchase and download and play it, just stick to the William tables.
Okay.
Because I think the William tables are all pretty good and they have a lot of fun. And also maybe buy the older Pinball FX tables if those are available, because the older designs were, had the nuance and time and effort to be like, oh, make them all weird and different and all this jazz. Where I play this Pinball M and I'm like, I hate 3 out of the 2 pinball tables on this fucking thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm like, it kind of felt like I threw some money away, because again, 3 out of the there was 5 tables, 3 of them I fucking hate, 2 of them are decent, and I'm like, that's not a good score.
That's always the best, is like when you're like, man, I just fucking wasted a bunch of money on no fucking reason.
That's about right.
I just I was doing stuff, and then all of a sudden, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not great.
By the way, I sent you some AI art that you should look at.
Oh, jeez. You always pumping out some AI art, aren't you?
I mean, that's how I do our podcast images now.
I'm starting to realize YouTubers are shitty YouTubers are using AI art to draw people in.
I mean, so, I like this one because I typed in Mass Effect Jaegers from and then with the tagline to fight the Reapers, recreated Reapers.
Okay.
And it basically just looks like space armor, and I'm like, that looks actually really sick.
So why did it go Canadian? Did you add Canadian?
The top 2, I said a post-human space warrior of evil gods standing against a cybernetically enhanced Canadian libertarian. The Canadian is wearing a hockey jersey. ... A hockey jersey and armor that is reminiscent of the Berserker armor from Berserk and Mass Effect armor. And it did that, and I'm like, that actually looks kind of sick.
I think number 1 is
the first one.
Yeah,
I like it
because it shows the maple leaf, but it doesn't quite show the maple leaf.
Yeah, well, what I want is I want to put the shoulder pads, and then what I want to do is basically where he's wearing a jacket, and that's the jersey covering everything up.
I see.
So you don't the armor doesn't have the maple leaf. That will just be something different. But I kind of want to have an artist pass this off to an artist and be like, hey, make this cool.
Hey, see, that's the thing you should do is use AI to get your idea across, and then go to the artist and go, okay, this is what I want. Yeah, this is what I want. Just make it cooler and not less AI, because I'm pretty sure his fingers don't exist.
Yeah, I want the hentai of 2 anime lesbians licking each other.
Oh, dude, have you seen hentai AI?
Hentai AI. Let's look. Hentai.ai.
No, well, I don't know. You could.
Are you 18 and over? Yes.
So the images that you see with that stuff, it's it's hentai and it's porn, but it's so Lovecraftian and body horror to the point of I'm not sure if I'm turned on by this. People's legs disappear or turn into 3 legs for no reason, and then people's fingers turn into 20 fingers, and fucking someone's boobs turn into vaginas, and their vaginas turn into fucking teeth somehow, and it's what am I seeing?
I mean, this one will either generate some really good hentai, or we'll see. I love AI. This is great. You can make all this kind of cool shit. And then all you have to do is just go to the artist later and just be like, yo, I just want you to make something cool.
Hey, I made all these thumbnails from AI art, but this is just trying to get the idea across.
Oh, man. Oh, it's not lewd. I'm disappointed. It's not lewd. I'm disappointed. How do I make it lewd?
You have to basically download a specific bot.
At least now I can make really dumb shit. That's the stuff I was actually kind of really upset about, because I would be I want to see a game developer getting punched in the balls by a woke company, And then Bing AI would be like, how dare you ask that? How dare you? And now it's like, I can just go to Leonardo.ai and it's actually like decent. Again, it could be like, hey, Leonardo, I need 2 lesbians kissing a trophy. Okay? I need them to be kissing that trophy. Okay? Now, I know what you're thinking, Leonardo, but they need to be macking that thing hard. And it goes, gotcha, boss. And then it makes it, and I'm like, thank you, Leonardo. Your greatness is always going to be.
But I don't understand why they have 20 fingers, though. Why? Could you explain the 20 fingers? No?
Yeah.
No, you can't? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now I can generate Jigsaw, the Jigsaw killer, getting thrown off a ledge by I don't know, name a character, Josh. Doomslayer. Yes.
Doomslayer.
Yeah, Doomslayer throwing the Jigsaw guy off the edge. Or I can say, I want a human Reaper from Mass Effect. Actually, that's a good one.
I want what's the race from Mass Effect?
Sorry.
Garrus race. What's that one? Turian?
Turian?
Yeah, I want Turian's fucking weird what's the space frogs in that universe? I can't now
Solarian?
forget everything. It's the space frogs.
So you want
all the weird shit, fucking basically. Give me all the weird shit.
You just want, man. Sometimes, Josh. I know I said lewd.
Can all of these guys just be fucking?
Yeah. That's a good question. I typed in Human Reaper from Mass Effect and I got this. But yeah. I think that's a podcast.
That's yeah, I think
that's
so.
That's like generic bad guy levels of like.
Yeah, I can feel that's like Quan Chi level.
Quan Chi.
Like it feels like Quan Chi in space.
No, because it doesn't have the beard.
No, or no, isn't it Quan Chi? Who's the white face guy? I can't remember. That should be Quan Chi, isn't it?
Quan Chi, Mortal Kombat. Oh yeah, no, okay, I got that wrong. Yeah,
I was correct.
Yeah, that should be the episode title. Jeff was wrong.
Jeff was wrong about Quan Chi, about this, about Jeff is just wrong.
Jeff has lost touch. I guess he's never right in the world.
Jeff has to keep learning.
Man, I guess Jeff got humbled this week, and then that's the episode that just goes million. And I'm like, oh, really?
Yep.
But thank you everyone for listening to Black Mind Games podcast. Josh, I hope you enjoyed the memes I sent you.
I think I'll enjoy them.
Okay, well, before we sign off, I have a question to ask you. If your goth friend asked you to help her move a couch and she will let you play Lego Wars, have a Lego War on her tits, is that a good deal?
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on the relationship.
Ben said that she's lowballing the value of her tits. Okay. I'm personally on your side. I think that that's a fair value for tits. Yes.
Just again, depends on the relationship status.
Well, let's say you're decent friends. Like you've never seen her naked before, but you're decent friends.
Decent friends. You could fuck probably.
There's a firm possibility one of you has put the other in the friend zone. Or let me rephrase that. There's a firm possibility you put her in the friend zone.
Okay.
But she still wants you.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, okay.
So.
Well, time to play some titty Lego soccer.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Black Blank Games podcast. You can listen to us every Thursday at blackblankgames.podbean.com. You subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app of choice. Thank you, Josh. Have a good night. Bye. And stop recording.
Not jerking off is cringe. You know what else is cringe? Urinary continence. Did you know one of the most common causes of kidney stones is holding in your piss? Do you want kidney stones? Do you want kidney stones? You are a machine that turns food into cum and Diet Coke into piss. Go piss right now. I'll watch to make sure you piss.
People calling me, man, they're shocked. Oh, hey, you wouldn't believe it. Who got killed? The crocodile hunter. Please don't make me laugh at this. This is not good. He was 44 years old. I'm like, that's a ripe old age for a crocodile hunter. And you know who had to be pissed about it were the crocodiles, because he got killed by some fruity fish. You know, the crocodiles were like, hey, man, that crocodile hunter got killed. Who did it, Frank? Nah, you don't even want to know, man. Please don't do this anymore. This Go, Bill, man, you had a chance. When the guy go, man, I had a chance. I had that mother. He was Tommy with a stick. I could have eat him and his kid. Do you remember I ever tell you that story, Bill? Yeah, only 1,000 times.